JKB back with another episode. Today on the show I'm reviewing Cave Bad. Thank you to the publisher for the review copy. Cave Bad is a roguelike classic arcade action game where you take the control of a dwarf with a pickaxe. Now when I think back to my childhood, I remember playing a ton of Bomberman, and Cave Bad definitely takes heavy inspiration from that title. In terms of mechanics, you're able to swing your pickaxe and take out rocks in front of you, as well as hit enemies with the pickaxe from a distance by shooting a power stream out of your pickaxe. And the second mechanic are the bombs that you'll be using as a strategy in this game. Not only can you tear down walls by exploding them with a timed charge, you're able to also time attacks on enemy bosses and enemies within each level. And I should point out that bombs only explode vertically and horizontally. They do not explode diagonally, so this is an exact copy of Bomberman, which is not really a bad thing here. I actually enjoyed that mechanic. As for the features of the game, you'll be solving puzzles, collecting items, and purchasing new gear, and really pushing the limits of your high score, just like you would do in the classic Bomberman game. This is really based in the idea of it being a quick action-packed arcade game where the high score is the most important part. After exploring a cave for around 15 minutes, I soon realized that the boss battles were the way to get to the next level of the game. Every time you get to another level of the game, it becomes more challenging and you collect more loot. So it's important to get this loot so you can upgrade to keep going through these caves. Not only does the game feel like a classic arcade game from the 1980s, it also looks like one visually. It looks like an NES game or an arcade game right out of that era. So let me get to the pros and cons of this game. There's only a few different cons I have. While the game is designed to be a very short, pick up and play, procedurally generated arcade game, it does have one annoying part to it. And that's when you complete one of the screens, all of the enemies are wiped out and you go around, collect the coins, and exit to the next stage. Of course, just like in these other classic games from the genre, the screen slides down and reveals the next stage. The issue has to be where the enemies are placed, and at times they're placed right in the doorway where you're about to spawn in. And unfortunately, you have maybe a split second to get out of the way. So unless you're paying attention, almost 2 out of 10 times of going between these rooms, I get hit by an enemy that just randomly spawns in that doorway, and that's kind of frustrating. There's one last thing I'm going to bring up, and that's my thought process as I review games of this nature. They're very simple games. The gameplay mechanics are bare bones. They're designed to be that way, and at times, I have to be honest with you guys out there, I sometimes say, well, this is so easy. It makes no sense why it's so cheap, and I'm just, button mashing to take down the boss. Every time you hit the boss, he actually stops in his animation, and he's unable to move. And I thought, well, if I just hammer on the attack button, he's going to be stuck there, and I'll take his health away, and that'll be the level. And that's what it was. But then I had to stop myself and look at the overall package here and what they were trying to do. This isn't a AAA game that's trying to blow the minds of people out there. It's just trying to be a procedurally generated rogue-like arcade game. And that's exactly what it does. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. Highly recommended if you are into the retro arcade genre. You're going to have a blast with this game. Yes, it feels a little easy at the beginning, but it's later into the game when you start to beat some of the bosses, when you see, okay, there's a bit of a challenge here. And you can also remember, this is a throwback game. This is about getting a high score. It's not really about being, incredible with its combo systems or anything silly like that, or its special effects. No, it's just a pick up and play arcade game, and it does what it sets out to do. Solid 8 out of 10, and I hope you guys enjoyed if you're into the genre. Thank you so much for watching. This has been JKB, and I'll see you in the next episode of JKB. Well, I said that twice. You get the point. See you soon.